I am the rocket man they talk about. I jump from star to star, I walk it out.
Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Shibby2142. Today we're playing some more SMITE. Today we're playing as Ao Kuang, or as I like to call him, AK. He is the Dragon King of the Eastern Seas. He comes from the Chinese background and he is a ranged mage, and he does some serious high UC damage. Being the first video I've done on AK, I will explain his passive, his skills, and his ultimate as per usual, because if you guys don't know what's going on, if you don't play SMITE, it'd be very confusing and probably not that enjoyable. So, AK's passive is called Graceful Winds, where he increases magical power by 5% of maximum mana. This is very cool, and he can become one of the most powerful mana or mage characters by the end of the game. So it's pretty straightforward, and really nothing too crazy or special about that. Alright, so we're going to go next to his one ability, skill key 1, it's called Squall. Ao Kuang fires a projectile breath attack that hits the first enemy in its path. So it'll stop at the first enemy. It does between 60 at level 1 to 240 at level 5, plus 60% of your magical power. So magical damage, and it slows all enemies in the area around the target. So the target you hit will take damage and will be slowed, and also anyone around the target you hit will also take the slow. I don't believe they actually take damage, so I could actually look in the gameplay and see, but it's really not that important because you use this ability for a slow and not so much for the damage. Possibly when people are running away, that would be a good idea. The second skill key, so skill key number 2, is called Slither, probably the weakest of Ao Kuang's abilities because it really doesn't do too much, let's be honest. So AK channels the wind, allowing him to move between 15 at level 1 to 31% faster, plus an additional between 2 to 6 for each enemy up to 6 within a 20-foot radius for 4 seconds. So a nearby player will give the maximum benefit. This is all pretty straightforward. You could use it when leaving spawn because you'll probably get all your mana back by then, since Ao Kuang has a huge mana pool. Or you could use it when trying to escape. That is obviously a good choice as well. Okay, let's move on to my favorite ability of AK. It's probably the one that makes him a really good choice for laning or mid. It's called Tornadoes. So skill key number 3. Good Lord Gilbert, this skill is amazing. So AK summons a tornado at the ground target location of his choosing. Obviously there is a range, but you can't pick where it goes. A smaller tornado will branch off onto an enemy that comes within the radius, doing between 10 to 50 magical damage every half second for 3 seconds. So basically between 60 to 300 or 90% of your magical power. Magic damage total. So it's a lot of damage. Let's just go with that. And is refreshed if an enemy stays within the radius. So let me just go into items quickly. This ability with Gem of Isolation, which makes you like 35% slower for 2 seconds when you're in something like this, it's insane. Because the tornado will branch off onto you for those half seconds for 3 seconds when you run out. So it's like you put it on someone, and if they're in the middle, they're gonna probably die because it'll hit them then, it'll slow them if you're using the Gem of Isolation at rank 3, and then they'll run out and they'll still be getting hit. So it's just so good. It clears lanes. The idea is what you want to do is put it down so when the heavy mobs in the front of a lane, when like creeps are coming towards you, they'll all get hit. And usually you want to time it so maybe they'll slightly stop right at the front, and then hopefully the archers will get the back end of the tornado, and you can pretty much clear a whole lane with one ability. Kind of like Ra does with his big beam, but this ability I think is a lot cooler. The number 4 ability or ultimate is called Spirit's Tempest, where AK summons the spirit of one of his fallen allies, to breathe down destruction onto his enemies in a path in front of him, doing between 400 at level 1 to 800 at level 5, up to plus 120% of your magical power. Magical damage, how you see damage, knocking all enemies to the side. So, unfortunately it does knock them to the side because if it didn't knock them anywhere, maybe they would get hit by this ability twice and they'd definitely be dead. But this is a super powerful ability, just like Hebo's Tidal Wave. And it is pretty easy to dodge though. I'm not gonna lie, because you lay it down in a path, and then you see the dragon come at you. And it's very, very, very easy to sidestep. It's not like Guild Wars 2 where you get a roll, where it'd be like incredibly easy, but it's a pretty easy ultimate to dodge. But if you do get hit by it, you're gonna take some damage. For a recommended skill build, I would definitely say you start with your 3 ability, that being Tornadoes, and then you'll probably level Tornadoes every time you can, and then go with your 1 ability, that being the little ball that you shoot out that slows them and hits them for some damage. That's pretty menial. Doesn't really matter. And always level up your number 2 ability last. That's just in my opinion. I think Slither, not that great. You can put points in your ultimate. Obviously at level 5, that's good. And then at level 9, etc., etc. But the damage does not scale that crazy. It just adds 100 per level, which is okay. But definitely try to get your Tornadoes up. And then you can either get your 1 or your ultimate. Really doesn't matter to me, but number 3, that's the important one. Moving on to the item build, I really don't have one yet. What some people would do is get level 1 boots, that would be Boots of the Magi, and then immediately start working on a Warlock's Sash, getting that up to level 3. You can do that. I would also recommend the Doom Orb. However, if you die, you do lose all those stacks, kind of like the Heart Seeker. Some people do like the Void Stone, but I build AK pretty much for pure damage output, not so much defense at all. And then from there, you can really do whatever, maybe like a Chronos Pendant or a Gem of Isolation that I suggested earlier. I believe it is getting a nerf though, so I can't really comment on future gameplays. But yeah, maybe a Gem of Isolation 3rd after you do your Warlock Sash 2nd. From there, maybe the Rod of Tahuti, and then after that, I really don't care what you guys do because I love you all. As for items, or not items, I mean abilities, I would probably suggest Meditation, because this ability gets pretty much all your mana back, which is nice. Then also the Aegis Amulet and Purification Beads. As the video comes to an end, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Once again, my name is Shibby2142. If you'd like to subscribe for more Smite and Variety Gaming, that would be awesome. Feel free to do so, that does really help me out. If you want to leave a rating on the video, because free-to-play games and Smite, it's pretty much awesome. Not hating on any other MOBA games, but I think Smite's is a little bit different with the 3rd person, the WASD controls. I think it's pretty cool. So if you guys want to check it out, I have been giving away a whole bunch of Smite codes on my Twitter and Facebook. Links to those in the video description. Also, maybe I'll put some keys in the video description, but they'll probably be gone after about 10 seconds. I don't know. Doesn't matter, guys. Anyways, I love you all. Hopefully I'll see you next time.